Okay, this is the audience. Alright, thank you for coming to watch this today. I am going to talk about memory cafes. It's a new service being offered in the Fox Valley. It's being provided by the Fox Valley Memory Project, which is also a service being provided by the Lutheran Social Services of Upper Michigan and Wisconsin. John and Susan McFadden discovered memory cafes while they were in England 2 years ago, which they were traveling to different countries to find out the way different countries deal with people that have Alzheimer's. So they actually founded the program here in the Fox Cities. Memory cafes are a safe and non-judgmental place for people who have early stages of dementia, memory loss, and their caregivers to go to. It's a place for leisure, socialization, and just for support. Memory cafes are coming at a time when there's about 8,000 baby boomers turning 65 every day. I'm going to talk about the memory cafes that happen at the Atlas Coffee Mill. And here's a picture of the room that we actually use in the Atlas Coffee Mill. As you can see, there's nice bright sunny light windows there. A table, there's actually another table over on the side here, but it has a lot of chairs. It's a nice quiet place. The Atlas Coffee Mill offers its room and snacks as a donation to the Memory Cafe. And then memory cafes happen there every other Thursday. It's about 4 hours in the afternoon for each and every memory cafe. Today I'm going to actually talk about the proposal to keep memory cafes going in the year 2014 for the cost of about $15,000. Actually, it's $15,060. These costs are only apply if the items are not donated. As I said, that the Atlas Coffee Mill donates its time or its room, and it also donates snacks. So that saves us $4,840 off of the expense right away. And then another expense that we would have here for the year of the 2014 would be for advertising, which is about $2,000. And that would be the cost of running a website if the website needed to be manned by a professional. Right now we have volunteers that are looking into doing it. But here's a poster that we are using to advertise the memory cafes. And it's got a picture, and then the memory cafe logo, and then the times, or the location and the times where it's held at, because currently there's 5 different memory cafes at 5 different locations each and every week. So then the next thing that we're going to talk about will be the salary. Right now there's one employee for the memory cafes, and she's employed to run all 5 memory cafes, and her salary is about $40,000 a year. So for the one memory cafe, it would break down to about $8,000. So now of the 3 memory cafes that I was involved with, we had to make 3 different games and implement them. So the first game I'm going to talk about is Let's Get to Know You Bingo. As you see, it's a simplified bingo card. It's got the 3 rows and 3 columns, and we also color coded it, and then we put a shape on the colors in case there was someone that was colorblind there. So when we asked the question, it was, if you have 3 sisters, put a chip on the red circle. That way, if there was colorblind, they still knew the difference between the circle. That game went over real well. People that were there were able to start up conversations about whether they had more than 3 sisters or whether they traveled to Europe and different things. And there was a lot of conversation that broke up off of that game. Our next game that we played was Let's Make a Deal. So this game, we took pictures from things in the 1940s to the 1960s, like a talking Barbie or a gallon of gas, or a random brand new house, which this one actually causes a lot of problems, which people wanted to know whether it was a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, whether it was a ranch, whether it was in the country, in the city. So we didn't research these pictures well enough for some of the guests that were there. They asked us a lot of questions that we were unprepared for, but it was still a fun game, and we got to learn a lot about things that happened in the 40s through the 60s. Our third game that we played was called Wonderful Words. Here we would pick a picture and the words that would match the picture, so like a wedding couple would say "I do" when they exchange their vows. So we would start out the game without the second line here. It would be just "I" and then the blank. And then if they could guess the word, then we'd click on it and the word "do" would pop up. "I do." And then like a rolling stone gathers no moss, or go fly a kite. This game went over real well also. We had a few slides that had songs on them, and there was one lady that absolutely loved Elvis, so she kind of sat there and sang all of the Elvis songs as they were playing. As we were doing this memory cafe, we were told that we had 3 goals. The first goal was to design and develop 3 lasting games that we could make permanent, of which we did that. This game we laminated, so that's a permanent game, and we got poker chips to go along to place on the bingo board. This game we also laminated the pictures, which were about an 8x10 size, so we laminated, and then with the price would be on the back side of it, so they can use that in the future. This game was developed on a PowerPoint presentation, which we then put on a flash drive, so it can be added to in the future or modified to add or subtract some of the slides. The second goal was for participants to feel and report feelings of engagement. You could see this by the laughters and the smiles on their face, that they were enjoying what they were doing, and then after the games they would come up to us and say that it was a good game, that they had fun. The third goal was to have 100% participation, either by themselves or paired up with their caregiver or one of the volunteers that were there. In all 3 games we had 100% participation, and again, like I said, there was a lot of smiles and laughter that were there. An evaluation form that one of the participants filled out and gave to us said, "Keep it coming. This is a great idea. It makes my heart smile." When I read that comment, it made me proud of what I did, and that the memory cafes should definitely continue here in the Fox Valley. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you very much.